want to tell you about our journey and our story of how we've helped ladies with convictions to get back into the workplace, giving them a second chance to support themselves and their families as well. So I guess first of all, I just want to kind of set the tone and engage the audience. Best way to do that was with free burger vouchers, which I do have here. So I do have my notepad, so I'm just going to be reading off this. Who can tell me how much reoffending in the UK costs the UK every year? There's a burger voucher up for grabs, guys. You have to guess if you want. A lot. Okay, what's that figure? Have a guess. 10 million?
600 million.
2 billion. 1.5 billion.
How much?
1.5 billion.
1.5 billion. A little bit higher. Let's keep on going now. We're on the right tracks.
2 billion.
No, but
3.
no.
5.
I've only got half an hour, guys. Come on.
10 million.
A little bit higher.
11.
15. Keep on going.
20. 17. 20.
18 billion. 18 billion. There we go. There's your burger voucher just there. Next. This should be a bit easier. What's the likelihood, or how many times more likely is a male leaving prison getting a job over a female? How many more times likely are they?
4.
Nope. A little bit lower than 10?
5.
A little bit lower?
3.
3 times more likely. 3 times more likely. Did anyone say 3? There we go. So males are 3 times more likely to get a job leaving prison than females. Okay? Last one. It's quite intense, this one. What percentage of women in prison would have experienced physical or sexual abuse as a child?
95%.
No.
50.
Who said 50? Yeah, 53%, so close enough. There we go. Come on, get your voucher. There we go. So just over 50% of women in prison would have experienced physical or sexual abuse as a child, okay? So that's kind of setting the tone. That's the reason why we decided to partner with a charity who support ladies with convictions getting back into the workplace. So who are Honest Burgers? We're a founder-led company. We started in Brighton as street foods. That's Phil, our founder. He still wears that jumper today. And we've grown up until 36 restaurants now. We opened our first restaurant in 2011 in Brixton. Our food, we make everything ourselves. 95% of our menus are our own supply chain. So we launched our own butchery. We have potatoes, farms where we get our potatoes from, and everything's fresh every single day. But most of all, it's our people that make us successful. It's very much a people-first company, you be you, and we welcome anyone from all over the globe with any background and opportunity to work with us. We don't hold barriers in place, and we want to set people up for success. I'll just share with you a quick video which will show you a bit more what makes us Honest Burgers.
I genuinely want you to have a nice time. I want you to let me have a good time and leave with your day a little bit better, brighter.
I always look creepy all the time.
We didn't start this business in a boardroom or to make money. It was just something we decided to do because we thought it would be cool, it would be fun, and we thought we could do it well.
We should all be trying to do something that makes us happy. And that's why me and Phil, we get up every day because we still feel passion and pride for what we do.
Old Hospitality stands for our kind of ethos that every restaurant should feel like going into someone's home, Try and look after each other, really.
Do you want them to feel like you would serve like your family or your mum? Like, don't treat them like a stranger, because that's not what this is about.
It's my kitchen as well. It's my kitchen. If you're yourself and you've got your tattoos out and you've got the way you want to work and the way you want to do it, you're going to smash it.
You don't have to be by the book all the time. You can be stupid. You can be a little bit naughty.
That's why we got Tuaka. Right, guys, so you bring it out, and they just have a great time.
I eat all the time. Like, they will tell you how much I eat.
The food speaks for itself. It's great. It's great food.
Whatever job you do, you've got to love it, and that's got to show in what you do. And I think, personally, you can see it on the stuff that goes out.
I have open kitchen, so I can see you guys smiling. Everyone is happy. Everyone go out happy. Nobody complain. Sometimes, but
really fine puree, all right? For us, we've got a team of people that are all striving for the same thing.
Yeah, tell me that.
You won't go to another burger restaurant in the country and have a plate of food that's had as much energy and effort go into it as ours.
It's just amazing meat, amazing chips, simple ingredients, good people, like good community. Yeah.
Cool. So that tells you a bit more about our culture and how we work. Meeting Working Chance. So Working Chance are the charity that we've partnered with to support us in this mission. First of all, what is a convict? Shout out, convict. What sort of crimes are there? Murderers.
A convict is someone who, at some point in life, lost their freedom for a circumstance. And it can be you, it can be your neighbor, it can be anyone.
Exactly. And you can't spot one, How do you tell? But the main thing is, we went in with, someone with conviction, as you said, a murderer. It's a stereotypical. But actually, what I've told you, that some of the ladies that we've met, they have grown into gang violence because that's all they've known by parents and their family, or they've grown up into drugs, heroin addicts at the age of 10, heroin addicts at the age of 12 as well. And they've had no choice. That's all they've known. So this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, and the reason why we wanted to give them this second chance. Working Chance, the charity, so they support women leaving the criminal justice and care systems into employment. 1 in 3 convicted women have spent time in the care system. In fact, prisons nowadays will estimate how many cells they need by looking at the care system. 53% of women are reconvicted within 1 year of leaving prison. However, the women that go through the Working Chance, just 4% of women get re-offend. And then 83% of women in prison have committed a non-violent crime. So our partnership, how we met, I was literally at an event and met a lovely lady called Emma who started telling me, who the Working Chance are and what they do. And I was really inspired, in which case, the week after, we went into the prison where they do their week workshop with chosen ladies that go onto the program. So we were there, and on the last day, there was myself and kind of 8 other employers from more IT and banking industries. So I was the only person there from hospitality. And we met some of the ladies, and the brief was, you're here to help them practice their interviewing techniques, because a lot of the ladies here will be getting released in the next 2 to 3 months, just to build their confidence. And immediately I just thought, well, I'm kind of here to look for some of the employees, actually. So we met probably 20 ladies, and we were asking them about, their skills, what previous work experience may they had. But really, for me, it was what they've learned whilst in prison and what are their duties during the prison. And probably 25% of the ladies told me that they're working in the kitchen. So immediately, light bulb moment. Brilliant. There's a shortage of chefs in the hospitality industry. These ladies would be perfect to come into our kitchens. So I wasn't meant to, but actually one of the ladies, I said, just contact me as soon as you're out. And she did. I'll tell you a bit more about her at the end of the presentation. But we've offered part-time and full-time positions. We've had to tailor it and adapt. The reason being is it takes a while for people to leave prison and then get back into society, okay? So they're coming from, 4 walls where they may have been for months or years, going back straight into the workplace where they're surrounded by a brand new team, hundreds, thousands of customers every single day. But so we've really kind of tailored the hours that they can work to set them up for success. Now, how this looks like is no more than 20 hours a week to start with. Anything more than that, it gets too much. You have to gradually do it. Usually, their confidence is lost in themselves and other people as well. So it's making sure that they aren't interacting with the customers so much initially. It's purely just kind of back of house duties, helping out, just so they can gradually do that. We then started a ROTL scheme. What ROTL means is release on temporary leave. We had to prove that we were able to hire people with convictions and set them up for success for us to be able to be even considered for this scheme. And basically what that means is the ladies or the inmates, they have to get to a certain level in prison to be able to go onto this scheme. So they're released for a day and then they can have to go back into the prison. Once again, this slowly gets them into society. Now, there's a huge amount of barriers with this because if you go on to level 1, that is, you're just doing the basics. Level 2 means you're helping out in the kitchen in the prison. Level 3, you've performed and you've not been in any trouble in the prison for a certain amount of months. However, they're only allowed, there's only a certain amount of times during the day when the gates in the prison get opened. So if they start work at 10 a.m. at Honest Burgers in Clapham, and it takes 45 minutes to get to work, but actually the gates only open at 7 a.m., they have to be released at 7 a.m. So then they've got 2 hours waiting for work, and then they have to come back. But if they break their curfew, that level 3 will go all the way to the level 1, and then they have to work their way back up in the prison to get the trust to be able to leave the prison again. So there's a huge amount of barriers. The other barriers are the personal issues. They're in prison, and they don't have an opportunity to go and buy some nice fashionable clothes. They've got the clothes that they are wearing. And they have to go into a team and say, that they're in prison and these are my clothes, and that might not boost their confidence. Also, because they're facing thousands of customers a day, what if they see a customer from their past life? What happens then? Or what if they don't come back from their break on time? So there's a huge amount of factors that we have to consider to be able to make it work. We help at their employability workshops. So actually we started by going to the working chance and meeting just ladies and help their interview skills. Actually what we've done now is twisted it, and we invite everyone to Honest Burgers. Come and eat for free, and we'll give you some mock interviews. Help their confidence as well, whether they want to work for us or not. That's another story. And then the charity days, we volunteer with them, still continued to go into the prison to help as many people as possible. So the selection process. Obviously, as I said, we go and meet ladies every 6 weeks, in the prison. But the selection process doesn't really change. All we have to change how we select or how we approach that interview. What we know is that these ladies have been told no all their life. They haven't had anyone trust them in their life, or may have not have. They haven't trusted anyone in their life as well. So sitting a person down for a one-to-one interview, probably not going to happen, okay? They don't have much confidence. They're very, very nervous. You have to break that, that barrier with them. So we really have to flex how we approach our interviews. We take them out of the workplace and we just go and find a coffee shop. And it's barely an interview. It's finding out more about themselves. That is the first stage. Just to build this emotional contract with them, that they can trust us as much as we can trust them. We feel that we've been able to get a lot more information by doing that. And it's no pens, no paper. It is purely a conversation with them and welcoming them to show them who they really are or who they want to be. And then seeing if we've got the right tools and the right people to be able to do that. Choosing the right locations is extremely important for us and for them as well. A lot of the ladies may be released and then they don't want to work in West London because actually that's where their past life might be. Or they know that some of their old friends go and visit North London a lot and they don't want to be working in North London. So we have to be very selective and also choosing the right team for them to go into with the right manager who has got the time to spend with them. But that really goes all the way through their interview journey. They come and experience on-the-job shifts, and it might be 2 shifts, because the first shift, they might not even remember it because the nerves have got better of them. How do we set them up to succeed? So this is the other factor, that what we don't want to do is just because we need someone as a waiter or we need someone in the kitchen just to employ them, okay? And it might be for 3 months because it's not setting them up to success. If anything, it's just going to demotivate them even more, and the chances are they'll go and re-offend and they'll find themselves back in prison. So the first thing is work-life balance. Now we all know, and we've obviously been speaking today, that flexible working and work-life balance is extremely important. But actually, these ladies might have children in one end of the country that they're not going to be able to see because they're coming because they want to be away from their past life, and they come and they work in another town. So making sure that they've got the right days off where they can go and see their children or see their family. A lot of the time, what we also know is there's the relationship's fallen between them and their family. So during prison, you know, they try to rebuild it, but actually it doesn't get built until they leave prison, when they can start spending quality time together. So it's really, really important for us to understand how far they need to travel to go back to see their family, and what days are best and how we can work around that. Managing pay. Some of the ladies have never been paid into the bank account before. A lot of them actually come with us and they don't have a bank account. Okay, so they've never had a paycheck at the end of the month or at the end of the week, and understand how to use that money wisely to make sure they can pay their bills, to make sure they can afford foods, to survive and live, essentially, but also how can they save a bit of money. So what we do is offer that support to them via our general restaurant managers and the support team to say, why don't you speak to so-and-so who'll be able to help you with the financial management as well once you leave. The aftercare is really, really important. It's very common for when ladies reoffend, it may be because of boredom, that actually normal life doesn't give them the thrill that the past life did. So we're constantly trying to motivate them, trying to teach them new skills and trying to integrate them in the workplace. It's extremely important for our general managers to understand what's going on in their personal life. You know, we did have an instance recently where one of our employees was found by her past life, and they came into one of the restaurants. It's how do you manage that situation and take them out of it. Celebrating great performance. We all know we like to be told you're doing a great job. these people may have not ever had that in their life, and they need to be shown what's right so they can continue to do that. And it's just the basics. It's just the basics of, that looks great. You spoke to that person really, really well. Well done. Continue to do that. That's what we encourage our managers to constantly do. So, some success stories I wanted to share with you. And you know, we've hired 10 ladies in the last 12 months. Now, if you asked me this, probably 2.5 years ago when we started the partnership, and I was standing in front of our board of execs, and I said, I want to start a partnership to hire people with convictions, and they thought, what on earth are you doing? I wouldn't be here today to be able to talk to you about this. And I didn't even expect this would happen. For us, it was a talent pool that we could dig into, and really a hand up, not a hand out. So Chanel, I met Chanel at one of our prison visits. It was the one I was talking about earlier. And so there was myself and 6 other employers in the room beforehand. And there was a lady called Chanel who was standing next to all the food. I thought she was one of the employers. Anyway, so I started speaking to her, and I was eating this banana bread, carrot cake it was, at the time. And I was telling her how good this was. And she told me she made it, that she had set up her own bakery within the prison. And she was the lady that said, as soon as you get released, come and speak to me. We'll hire you like this, after speaking to her for a good half an hour. So Chanel joined us. She moved to Reading, so away from Birmingham. She started as a prep chef in a new opening restaurant. So new team, new expectations into the town, a new general manager. And she developed. She developed into a grill chef where she was working, and she's been working with a team of 5 or 6 people. And she recently got signed off as a sous chef. If you don't know what a sous chef that is, then that's second in command in the kitchen. That's serving thousands and thousands of meals and leading a team. You know, when the head chef isn't there, she has full responsibility to set up that kitchen. We've recently opened a restaurant in Cardiff. She went over to Cardiff to train these our new employees on standards and behaviours. And she's literally just started her head chef training. She also, early in the summer, she created her own special burger, which she launched a whole event just for her. She promoted it, and we were literally packed out all day, all evening, purely just on that special burger, where the money went to the charity. Second, Layla. Layla, she joined on our ROTL program, so temporary leave program. She had three months of travelling, equivalent to 2.5 hours to work and 2.5 hours back because of the gate time. She worked 25 hours a week with us. She started working 15 hours a week, up to 25 hours a week. She was going to go to Cardiff because back to Cardiff. Literally, she was going to leave Honest Burgers once she got released because her family live in Cardiff. But she decided to stay at Honest in London after she got released. At that time, we started training her to become a restaurant supervisor, which is third in command in the restaurant. Okay, so opening restaurants, managing cash flow, stock, orders, leading teams, running team meetings. Last year, she won Rising Star of the Year in 2018 at our company awards. And then we've just opened in Cardiff, as I said earlier, and she's gone over to Cardiff as a restaurant supervisor there, and she's now with her family and friends as well. Natalie joined as a waitress and progressed recently to a restaurant supervisor. She's also now learning the kitchen skills and going into a sous chef position as well. So she's learning front of house and back of house operations. And Sobi was actually our first hire through the Working Chance. She's still with us today. I went and spent a shift with her 2 months ago, and it was a different person that I saw about 2 years ago to the one I saw today. And she is, again, second in command in the kitchen. Really, the success stories are because of the ladies that we've helped. Most recently, though, we were nominated for our partnership in the British Charity Awards and also the Caterer People Awards. One of my personal highlights were in the Evening Standard. My inspiration of hiring convicts actually came from Timpson's, the key cutting place, right? Who hire people with convictions. And actually this article also has Timpson's in. So it was comparing the similar thing that program that we are doing. So that was probably one of my highlights. But and then I just put on 2 pictures, and they didn't mind me kind of putting these pictures on. Chanel over there with the flowers, and then Layla after she won the Rising Star of the Year award for 2018. And that comes to the end. I would love to take some questions if you have any questions. Hopefully you do. For me, if there's one thing that lands with you today is don't let someone with a conviction be the reason you don't employ them. You never know about their history, and always treat them as if someone didn't have a conviction. At the end of the day, when you're in an interview, do you really know that person and what they do when they go home, or what they do in their spare time? You don't. So thank you very much for listening.